even before his first movie, how did we get there? Like, he has the personality of a pistachio.
She was prehistoric animal. She'd be a saber-toothed tiger, Steve.
I'm going to borrow that, Codemeister.
So that sets George off, and he starts cold calling immediately. And you think it's going to be like this fairy tale thing. Hard no. Hard no. What's that? God, son of a Serenity Now.
Hey, you want a computer? Why not? Oh, that's a good answer. Serenity Now.
Happened in the 90s.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That was some crazy thing I saw online, Steve, real quick. Eddie talking about a movie we're going to talk about today and how he was offered that along with Rush Hour. Yeah. And he chose that because instead of running around sweating and having to like do stuff with Jackie Chan, he's like, yeah, it seemed like a more easy one to do.
He took the path of least resistance and it bit him in the arse.
Yeah, I like he's vocally just like, it's a shitty movie.
It totally was.
It sucks.
I mean, on paper, you're thinking, Eddie? Jeff?
Yeah, just that. That's all I need.
So, Steven Seagal, bro, like, what is that about?
Dude, it's just a guy who made one good movie, and somehow that's been enough to get him to stick around for decades with the open knowledge that he's shitty to work with. He'll try to hurt people. He's really not. I mean, okay, let's be honest. He has some knowledge of martial arts, right, Steve? Whatever.
Judo throws.
Judo, yeah. He can throw a guy. But this guy just is a big old donger. You know what I'm saying? Steven Seagal, he's just a fart noise in a fucking karate gi, Steve.
That whispers all of his lines. I don't know.
Did you ever see, it was great, when his career really started taking a dump. Like now it's just fully over and he's like in hiding in fucking Russia or whatever he's doing now. But there was a point where he had like a reality show that was following him around where he was being a cop. Or he was like legitimately like he was a cop. But he would get around like black people and it would all change. Let me tell you something, brother. And he started turning into like a wrestler in the 90s a little bit. And it was cringy, but it was hilarious. And this was like, you know, Steven Seagal has gone through a lot of weight fluctuations, mostly towards like the 300s. He's fully fat like a SWAT vest. Like, let me tell you something, brother. You shouldn't be doing drugs, brother. It's like a lot of that stuff. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Is he still rocking that Hunter Helmsley ponytail?
Oh, I don't think it might not be real anymore. It might be some sort of like wigage that's going on. Cause you know, I don't even know what age he is now, but now he's like 400 pounds.
He's got a
like
clip on.
Yeah, he might, but he definitely has like his hair is so black that it's questionable whether or not it's real or not, you know, where he's like 60. It's like, okay, dude, that's jet black. That's just for men twice. And you just came outside like that. It's crazy.
Let me get the Ryan Day ×5.
But he'll still do like karate expo or like he'll do like little demonstrations.
Who's watching
I
that?
In Russia. And it just looks like fake martial arts where people are running up on him. He's just like, and some guy just like flips away from him. He's one step away from just being like doing like force pushings on people and they're you know, like that kind of shit.
Even before his first movie, how did we get there? Like, he has the personality of a pistachio, dude, and he whispers all his lines. Like, there's no action to his words. They're just very dull. He's a dry person. And like you said, he doesn't have the best reputation.
I just want to know what he was before he was an actor, because was it a bouncer? You know, right. I looked it up, Steve. Here's one thing that I love to hear. He's from Michigan, so you know he's a douchebag.
Oh,
that explains like a good portion of it, especially the fat part, just sort of the dim bulb part. But I'd love to know, you know, teenage years and the 20s into just right when he became famous, which I'm assuming was maybe when he was around like 30. I don't know.
What if he was like a bouncer at Chippendales or some shit?
What if he was one of the Chippendales?
Oh,
Hey,
lady.
baby. Let me flip you over, baby. I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean, even his acting, it's like he just sounds
All of it.
bored and very tired for the most part.
Just lull us to sleep, man. You know, that's a perfect bedtime story. Just throw on a Steven Seagal movie. I always tell people I've never met a Steve I didn't like, but thank God I never met Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like it'd be fun. I don't think you're going to have a great conversation or even a good time. You know, he just doesn't, he seems like a douchebag. And now you got to go to Russia to hang out with him. So that's pretty weird too. I love that part of his life. I think that's a hilarious end to the life of a douchebag, is that they just have to go to like a just awful place and just live out the rest of their life because nobody in America wants to be around them anymore. But he trained with Bruce Lee, Steve.
Oh, word.
That's what he said. He trained with Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. You know, these are just some of the names. I'm trying to find what he did, but all I'm seeing is he trained Aikido in California. And then this guy did go to Japan to study under the masters, Steve. But I feel like the skill level's gone down and down as the weight's gone up and up. But he is 6'4", Steve, so he might whoop our ass. He's a pretty big dude, but I know one person. I don't know. I do know Michael Jai White. You know, people come out and like will talk shit about Steven Seagal, and Michael Jai White's like literally like, yeah, he can kind of fight, but this guy's a piece of shit. Like Michael Jai White's vocally against him, so I believe Michael Jai White over a lot of people. I respect him, and you know, I think that's probably the case. But that being said, he did make one good movie that we're going to get to talk about.
Dynamite. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Miller's Crossing tapes and your Reggie Miller jerseys, because it's 90s world, party time, excellent. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Dude, whoa, babelish.
Party on, JT. JT, this is so hot, JT.
These babes, JT.
Today, my friend, we're talking all things October 9th in the 90s. Serenity Now! Starting off in 1990, Slayer would release Seasons in Abyss. I know neither of us care about Slayer, but it was produced by Rick Rubin.
There we go. You always associate producers with like the kind of music that they made famous with. Never would see Rick Rubin on a Slayer album, but I get, you know, here we go. Rick Rubin, legend. Slayer, just take a dump in a box, Steve. That's all.
He's a Renaissance man. And I look at Slayer like a spiceless Pantera. Like Kerry King, the guitarist, he's an amazing guitarist. And even on this album, like sonically, this album, it sounds great. Because Kerry King is really that dude on this level of heavy metal. He's probably on par with Dimebag Darrell. Phil Anselmo's racist as at least he has personality. The lead singer for this, I think his name is Tom Araya, or something like that. Just like, you're just filler. Kerry King was actually the guitarist on Fight for Your Right, the Beastie Boys track, and I think some other tracks with them.
Well, there we go. That's how he got hooked up with Rick Rubin, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I tried to listen to it, dude. I don't like this type of music too much. I've explained my like Pantera. I like a few of the hits. It's good workout music to me. But even this, I just found myself wanting to click through it and get back to the R&B songs. You know what I'm saying? Back to the guy.
Yeah, I felt that. In 1992, Step by Step is airing Season 2, Episode 4, JT's World. JT begins his own cable access television show, a program that is very similar to Wayne's World. He invites a girl he has an eye on to the show, but becomes upset when the young lass falls for sidekick Cody instead.
A fucking leprechaun, right? When the young lass falls for Cody.
Yeah, thanks, IMDb.
Who knows, Steve? But I like this episode, Steve. We get Cody, which we all love. We love a Cody episode, and we get a nice little cameo from a nice hot the trap.
And we covered an episode where Tiffany Amber Thiessen was a guest star. And something about these two appearances, like when they're in their Bayside universe, you know that they're hot. All three of these ladies are hot. But when they cross over into another episode, like I think in contrast, you really see how hot they are, because the hottest girl at this point on the show is Dana. I think we're in season 1, season 2. But like when Jesse Spano walks in, it was like, oh damn, you are next level.
Who is that pile next to Jesse Spano?
Yeah.
Everyone's not. Dana's invisible, Steve. And you're right. This is something that needs to be studied.
Yeah.
The Saved by the Bell quotient, when you add that into a TV show, I mean, look at the stunned faces of the boys in this. Some of them a little too young, but everyone knows. Even young
Karen.
She's bowing down. She's showing respect to the alpha in the room. You can see it in her body language, Steve.
Them Bayside girls come in town. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, just look at that. That's us in the 90s. That's a wet dream right there, Steve. Jesse Spano in a cheerleading outfit, just looking. Miss the 90s. What I do like at the beginning of this is we get to see Frank just being a dad, right, Steve? He's doing the dishes with Dana, and this is what my parents used to do to me, a little mental warfare, where he basically convinces Dana he can't do something, and then she does it for him, and she's like, Jesus, don't you know how to do it? And he's like, bitch, I just mind fucked you to do it. Bye. I like that.
It's way cooler when you
That's
do
what
it.
kids are for, I feel like. That's what kids are for. Doing the dishes, Steve. But I know you like seeing her do that dishes, Steve. I know you'd like to be doing the dishes with her.
Yeah, with just an apron. And Cody and JT walk in, and we find out JT's getting his own public access TV show, calling it JT's World. I know there's no originality to that, but
Good
it's
Lord.
public access. Yeah.
Can you sue for any sort of rights on public access? Because he even says it's like Wayne's World.
Yeah.
He's plagiarizing, Steve. Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, somebody get on the phone. JT's taking your fucking thing. I like how, I mean, it is public access. All you have to do is pay for the time, but no like lead up to this. Hey, I got a TV show. What?
Right.
No idea, JT, you were even interested in this. Great. How'd you do that? And he explains it. It's all just about some dollars. I don't know where he got that money. He hasn't been selling cars yet. So I don't know, but JT's got a show, Steve. We just had to buy some mics and stuff. JT, he's throwing down for crew. He's got to fucking, feed these people. He's doing a real show here. And is he in middle school?
I think he's in early high school, and he needs Frank to sign those waivers because he's still a minor. And we find out that Cody's going to be his sidekick. He's going to be like the Garth. Whoa.
Hold on, let me just do a rip real quick, fucking bro. But, who else are you going to use? You got a lot of hot pieces of ace on the other side, but I don't know if you want to do a show because JT will just get overlooked. You just do a show where Jesse Spano, or even Stacey Keenan's the co-host. You're not the star anymore, Steve.
In the next scene, we see JT's giving orders to his crew, and the dude just seemed like an authoritarian.
Either or.
Yeah,
he's getting real bossy, but he's running the show, Steve, and he's the star of the show, so he's under a lot of stress.
Yeah, I get it. And then Karen walks in from cheerleading practice, and she's with her friend Lisa, aka Elizabeth Berkley, aka Jesse Spano.
JT literally, when he sees Jesse Spano, he almost chokes on a beverage, not on food. It's so stunning that he just almost loses his life, which I get. This is showgirl, Steve. This is a soon-to-be showgirl.
Soon to be, yeah.
JT's already, he's like, I think I met the girl in my dreams.
And he sees this as the perfect opportunity to flex his new show. It's like, yeah, got this show called JT's World, and I'm JT. I'm the star of the show. I'm going to be all on that shit. And then Lisa says, like, "Oh, you're gonna be on TV? I'd give anything to be on TV." Oh, anything?
I like also when JT's about to go like offer up like do like the shitty producer thing. His brother Mark's like, "Oh my god, she's so hot" or something. JT's like, "Yeah, I'm about to get some pictures for you, little bro." Like, all right, dude. It's about to happen here. What kind of Hollywood swindling's going on? You know, JT's planning his Weinstein shit right now. He's trying to figure out how to move those X's around.
He's Dan Schneider.
Yeah. And we cut to the bedroom, Steve, and Carol and Frank in bed. Frank living the dream, as we've said in the past. I didn't realize it at the time. Obligatory. You got to get Suzanne Summers just in the bed with a little nightie on just once. Maybe I think once an episode, Steve.
Here's the thing, though, man. They have the hardest time trying to fuck. Out of all sitcom couples, there's always a snag in the whole shit before they schmang. Oh, Lily, she wants to sleep with us. Oh, JT just put a hole in the wall. Oh, Mark, he can't stop wetting the bed, so he got to sleep with us. It's always some shit. Like, they always have some little conflict before they can fuck.
Yeah, Frank's always like rolling over, like, oh yeah, like trying to like rub her butt with his boner a little bit. She's like, wait a second, we got to do this magazine compatibility test first. It's like, damn, we're not compatible.
Mid-stroke.
We're done. I failed it. Yeah, exactly. But that's what's happening. So, you know, Carol, she's got all the leverage. She's like, make with the answers, and then we'll get to the freak shit. And that's all Frank needs to know. So, question one, if you were stranded on a desert island, how long would it be before Frank started dating again? Which is just a weird question to ask. And Frank's very hesitant to answer. And I've been here, Steve. I'm married. You don't want to start getting honest at this point, especially if you're trying to get some sex. The whole time he's like, "You're sure? Like, I'm this, you don't care." She's like, "Of course, this is stupid. This is a dumb magazine test. Why would I care what your answers are?"
So they have to write their answers down. And after a while, they hand each other their papers. Carol, her paper says forever. But then when we turn to Frank, his paper says 6 months. And that sets Carol off.
I mean, 6 months, Steve. 6 months goes by. It's probably over with. We're not dealing with the Tom Hanks Castaway situation. So Frank was honest, which caused Carol to dry up vaginally. She leaves in a huff, which, I mean, come on, Carol. This is crazy at this point. You guys only have so many times to fuck. You got 6 kids running around. But she steals the cover. She leaves Frank with some blue balls. This is what happens when you take a compatibility test with your wife, Steve.
Now we're at the taping for JT's World. They're doing it, and they're going through the whole Wayne spiel, party on Garth, party on Wayne, and Lisa shows up. We see that JT's even got a sweater that says JT's World with the matching hat.
I mean, this show, Steve, it's really for the dudes. It's for the bros. I love all the babe wordplay, you know? It's a lot of babe thrown around, which, you know, is Wayne's World's thing. But Dana shows up. She's babe of the month. That's Cody's babe of the month. That's Steve's babe of the month.
Babe of the year.
She was prehistoric animal. She'd be a saber-toothed tiger, Steve.
I'm going to borrow that, Codemeister.
Babe with the tude. Gotta love that. I mean, this is 90s, Steve. This is just straight bro time. Look at that hot piece of ass.
Excellent party on JT's World. Party time. And Cody, I don't know if you could say this is playing the guitar, but he's doing something on the guitar.
I mean, he is going up the neck on it, Steve. He's doing what he needs to. JT brings out his babe of the month, who conveniently is Lisa. Baber Day weekend, Steve. 3-day weekend coming up. Lisa's the star of. This is just the start of some magic, but I'm not really sure if it's the magic that JT wants. You know what I mean? There's some sparks flying. And 20 minutes into like one of those shred sessions that you're talking about Cody doing, it looks like Lisa might be getting into her feelings a little bit, Steve. She likes a guy who can play the guitar.
She tells JT, there's something magical out there, and I happen to fall in love. And JT's up in his feels like, oh, word? Tell me more. And then she's like, don't you think Cody's just wonderful?
Did you see the outline of his car? Fucking fuck you, Lisa. he's your family. There's got to be something. So JT sees this, and now he's fuming. He gives the kids a couple of bucks. You know, they're his staff, but he's like, go get an ice cream or something. Get the fuck out of here real quick. He's fuming. He fucking fires Cody, Steve. There's not even a discussion like, yo, dude, like, I was trying to get on that. They're family, but JT's like, look, Cody, just wasn't feeling the chemistry, dude. Sorry. This is just business.
Well,
It's JT's world.
that's showbiz. One day you're hot, the next day you're yesterday's tuna.
Hollywood, am I right? It's just how it goes. I'm here if you want a blowjob. So, JT, this is how cutthroat this guy is. Family, fuck it. He just wants some sniz. I mean, you got a TV show to worry about, buddy. I'm going to worry about that first. You're one episode into JT's world. You're down a co-host.
And now Cody, he's playing guitar outside his van behind his uncle's house, and he's got the blues. Now, and Carol and Frank, they're arguing about that damn scenario from the magazine. Cody's got the blues, though. Talking about how he got fired off the show, said that they don't have chemistry. He didn't want to tell him the truth, though. I got a feeling he was keeping something from him.
Got fired off my show. Trying to get some pussy. Yeah, and so Frank kind of gets clued into all this. And I don't think he's very happy to hear that his son's sort of pulling all this kind of chicanery, Steve.
Especially when he finds out that there was a woman involved in this taping, because Cody says that, you know, me and Lisa had a ton of chemistry on the show. And Frank's just like, oh, really? You and Lisa? Excuse me, Cody. I'm about to go talk to the king of cable.
So he goes inside to the kitchen. And Frank's like, JT, come on, dude. What's going on here? What's up with you firing your cousin? And JT's like, come on, Dad. You're not included into this entertainment industry stuff. This is just business, okay? There's nothing personal about this. But he doesn't know his dad knows about Lisa, Steve.
It was about the chemistry. It was just off. It wasn't going to work. And Frank says, well, okay, I was just checking, making sure you're not backstabbing your best friend over a girl.
Got some thinking to do, JT. So yeah, Frank, good dad, Steve. We talked about it before. He's a pretty good dad. He just can't get laid. He's fumbling that bag, but he's clued into his kids. I like that. He gives JT a talking to. So we cut to the living room. Episode 2, about to go. We're already at episode 2 of the JT's World show. Al, soon to be the hottest one of the group, but currently just the tomboy. She thinks JT's cooked. He's got no sidekick. He needs a sidekick. And JT's like, oh, okay, Mark. He pulls a Trump and JD Vance. He's like, this guy doesn't matter at all. He pulls the nobody out of obscurity. Pulls Mark. Mark can't believe it, Steve.
Yeah, you're fired. Before we had Vince McMahon, we had JT.
It's JT, dude. What a fucking piece of shit. But Mark nerds out immediately and gets fired. This guy's a tyrant. He can't even let somebody give it a shot. Al tells JT the truth that he's being a creep. He threatens to fire her too. It's all over with, Steve. The ship's going down and JT's putting holes in it. JT, I don't think you had a chance with Lisa. She's a tall woman and you're a short man. You know?
Yeah.
Can you shred like that? Okay. That's all I gotta say. So JT, he's got to clear his head. The show's about to start. So he goes into the kitchen. He sees his dad. And he's still trying to be like, episode 2 is about to be a banger, Dad. Hiding the emotions. Frank's just singing that. The best friend. He's just being passive aggressive. Which I also kind of like a little bit. He's being petty.
I think JT's got the message at this point because Cody actually gives his guitar to JT. You know, no hard feelings. I understand. And I actually wish you good luck with your show. And JT, he says, like, man, you know, this isn't any good. Like, I was the jerk yesterday. You weren't. You know, I really blew it, man. Now, I know maybe you're taller, better looking, cooler. So I get it. I probably had no chance with Lisa.
I like even Cody after being told all that's like, dude, I never like scam a chick. You're my bro. He's the ultimate bro, Steve. He lives in a van, probably smokes a lot of drugs, and he's out here looking out for the family. And I like that, Steve. He'd never do that. He's got plenty of weird chicks to go into that van with him. Lisa, she's a little too young for his taste.
Cody's a real one. He's a solid dude.
He's like Artie, the strongest man in the world. On paper, you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. But then you meet him, and you're like, I like this guy. So JT made amends with cousin Cody, gets his co-host back. JT World Episode 2. We're back where we started, Steve. No chicks. Fuck the chicks. It's all about bro time.
Then in the next scene, we see Carol talking to the girls, and they have a little scenario of their own, asking, if you were stranded on a deserted island, who would you like to be paired with? Carol says Mel Gibson. I think
Carol, you need to flash forward a little bit. I think you change your answer.
Yeah, for real.
Come over here and blow me.
She's going into detail about what she doing, all this. And then Frank comes out of the woodwork. And he's just like, you know what? I wasn't eavesdropping. I was just setting you up, bitch. And the girls were in on it.
They don't want to see their family fighting. Frank, you don't got to pull all this bullshit. You shouldn't be having to argue about this stuff. You know he got his, Steve. He's a good person. Carol finally gave it up.
Was that intentional? But
I don't know what that was.
Making queef sounds. That's appropriate.
That's what Carol was doing, Steve.
In 1992, A River Runs Through It premieres. Two sons of a stern minister, one reserved, one rebellious, grow up in the rural 1920s Montana while devoted to fly fishing. Directed by Robert Redford, starring Craig Sheffer, Brad Pitt, Tom Skerritt, Emily Lloyd.
This movie is one of the most, even in explaining it, makes me want to go to sleep. Fly fishing, Brad Pitt shirtless at times. None of these things make me feel good about myself.
I mean, it's really just Brad Pitt smiling in dudes' faces all handsomely and shit. And I get it, bro. I'm sick of being reminded of how attractive this motherfucker is. Like, I don't like movies where I'm like, okay, all bitches want to fuck George Clooney. Okay, all the bitches want to fuck Brad Pitt. They'd all want to fuck him in the 1920s. If he was in the 1700 lace front George Washington years, all the bitches want to fuck him. Like, all right, bro. And that's all this fucking movie is. I get it.
And he doesn't, it's not like he changes how he acts for the time period. It's just Brad Pitt in some pantaloons like, hey, what's up?
What the fuck, bro?
So
movie, man.
I think this was old people porn. It was definitely lady porn. 5 minutes in, you're asleep, so it's just, it is what it is, Steve. We got to mention it. It's Brad Pitt, but I'm like you. I don't need to be reminded of how there's people in this life that give millions of dollars just to be handsome.
Yeah, dude. It's shout out to Robert Redford, man. R.I.P. He recently passed, but I will say this: I would watch a Robert Redford movie over any Clint Eastwood movie, any of them.
Him acting, yes. The stuff he directed, it was all like this. I feel like he just directed like more like snoozers for me. But yeah, shout out Robert Redford's a badass. But another guy who I feel predates Brad. Well, he did predate Brad Pitt, but another handsome man who was given handsome jobs.
He was that guy for his era, exactly. Also in 1992, Under Siege premieres. Ex-U.S. Navy SEAL turned cook Casey Ryback is the only person who could stop a group of terrorists when they seized control of the U.S. battleship, the Missouri, to obtain its nuclear warheads. Directed by Andrew Davis, starring Steven Seagal, Tommy Lee Jones, and Gary Busey.
It's notable because of the villains, Steve. The villains make this movie. We get Tommy Lee Jones playing some sort of like rocker looking dude. He's not the usual like redneck guy. He's got a leather jacket. He kind of looks like a Vietnam vet, but still cool. He's a badass in this. Gary Busey, as always, playing a lunatic at one point in full drag, and one point in drag where he's got fake tits but no wig and makeup on, which I thought was hilarious.
Really weird.
And the other guy, I don't know who this guy's name is. He's an Irish dude that was always like in movies in the 90s. He's one of the team of villains. Also great. But yeah, dude, Damian Chapa's in this. The guy who I used to tell you was Prince Iake is in this.
Raymond Cruz.
Yeah, yep. He's up in this. There's a lot to like about this movie, and this is what I will say. This is the one Steven Seagal movie that's worth any type of shit. But it's not because of Steven Seagal.
Totally not. It's because of the villains. And this was also the only Steven Seagal movie to receive an Academy Award nomination. 2 nominations for Best Sound Effects and for Best Sound.
And I'm also forgetting Erica Elaine, or I can never say her name. Erica
Oh,
Elaine.
yeah.
Playboy Playmate, somebody who I JO'd to a lot in my life. And I'm pretty sure we get to see those teas in this.
You do.
Just for a 90s youngster, young teen boy in the 90s, Steve, or not even a teenager, right? What's the year on this?
This is 92, so we're like 9 years old.
9, 10, seeing some tits, Steve, that I shouldn't have been seeing. And to this day, this is a tolerable Seagal movie, but that's the best I can say about it.
That's the best we can say. And, she's also one of those Baywatch hotties, too.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you remember that.
Erica. That's a 90s that's somebody young Matt loved. I liked a blonde with some big old teeth, Steve.
They don't talk about her enough, Matt.
Well, we're talking about it right now. Erica, God bless.
I know you watching. But in 1997, Seinfeld is airing season 9, episode 3, The Serenity Now. Jerry opens up his feelings. Elaine is getting hit on by the Jews. Kramer gets a screen door. George helps his father sell computers. Serenity Now.
I feel like this has to be like one of the classics for Seinfeld, Steve. This is a catchphrase that even if you didn't know about the show, you knew about this.
Shout out to Frank, man.
A legend. Jerry Stiller, he made 2 shows percentages better because of just him being in that. King of Queens, that show wouldn't have lasted if it wasn't for him. He's a powerhouse, dude. He's like a Danny DeVito where you look at him and you're like, I don't get this. And then you just see him acting and what he's doing, the energy he brings. He goes for the laughs, dude. He'll show up in like weird, like he was in Heavyweights, he'll just show up and be hilarious for a little bit just because he loves it. So RIP to that legend too, dude.
Speaking of Jerry Stiller, it's him and his wife Estelle, and they're going at it about Estelle not moving up her seat. They're just going back and forth. It's the machinations. It's how it's made. Oh no, it's you. Serenity Now.
That's it, Steve. That's the new saying. That's the new jingle to just bring down the blood pressure. What's the guy's name? What's the giant dude that is like the motivational speaker?
Tony Robbins.
It's a Tony Robbins thing. You just got to repeat it, Steve, and it will calm you down. It's not working too well for Frank, Steve.
And they also mentioned the screen door that needs to be worked on. And Estelle says, we still haven't fixed that door. Serenity Now.
Throw that piece of crap out.
I love that. And then we cut to the diner, Steve. There's another cameo. Lori Loughlin, Steve.
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky out of the attic in the diner. She's going out with Jerry. She's planning something and just kind of like makes a point that she's like, it's weird. You just never get mad to Jerry. And that's like a little like seed, Steve. I get mad all the time. What are you talking about? He takes it a little personally.
I get peeved. She's like, no, but have you ever really, really been mad? You don't have to lie to kick it, Jerry.
I love that. Well, then we go to Jerry's. George hears about the conversation and he's kind of in agreement. He's like, yeah, that actually is true. So Jerry's kind of getting it from everybody. Kramer shows up. Jerry kind of goes off half-heartedly on Kramer just to like do the opposite. Kramer just starts laughing in his face, Steve. He's not a threat, Steve. That hurts as a man. It hurts to know that people are like, he's not dangerous. You want to be Steven Seagal.
George asks if anyone can help fix his screen door. Jerry's not trying to have any part of it. Kramer, he offers. He's like, yeah, I don't mind going out into the country. They leave. Elaine comes in and she's like, I need someone to go to the bar mitzvah with me. So she asks Jerry. Jerry has other plans. I was supposed to go to the Knicks game. That fell off. Definitely not trying to go to no bar mitzvah with you, Elaine.
What a weird thing to be asked to go to as just like an employee. I feel like that's kind of a personal thing for your boss to ask you to do. But No one wants to do that. So everybody's out of that. We cut to Frank's. The screen door, you're not fixing that thing. It's almost in pieces. So instead of like throwing it out, Kramer's like, hey, I love trash. Let me get that. And Frank obliges. So Kramer's got a new screen door for an apartment. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, it's Kramer.
I mean, it is Kramer. George notices a bunch of boxes in the house. And this isn't like packing boxes. This isn't stuff that Frank's like collecting. He's like, what is this? And we come to find out that Frank's onto this new like scheme or like get rid quick scheme. And I think they're computers, Steve, if I'm not mistaken.
Selling desktops.
I mean, I guess it's better than knives. I just don't think George is a little caught off guard here,
And George asked, like, but there are already computer sellers and developers out there. Like, what about Dell? What about this company? Like, it's like, I got my own methods. Don't worry about them. And Estelle again calls out, you're selling computers?
Get them the fuck out of here. I also like, Steve, this kind of is like central to our show. Frank explains how he got into this scheme by explaining that he watched a fascinating movie with that girl from the bus called The Net, Steve, a movie that I know you love, near to your heart.
That provocative girl.
So that's, The Net, Dennis Miller really got to him. That's why he's selling these computers. So we cut to the diner. Jerry's, again, kind of giving like this half-hearted, going off on the fact that there's not enough creamer. Lori Loughlin, she's like, still, you're not really being like, you're not committing to this. You're not angry.
Yeah.
You're being petty right now.
Yeah, you're really trying, and I can tell.
You're not mad. You need to open up. And then he kind of does get pissed, Steve. He's like, oh, yeah, I need to open up. He's boiling, Steve. The kettle's boiling right now. He's TNT.
Yeah, she was like, all right, that was actually good. And then we cut to the bar mitzvah. We see Mr. Littman with his son, Junior Littman. My son's about to be a man.
Hell yeah, he is, because he reaches over to Elaine and throws a nice little tongue-filled Hava Nagila into her. Goes for a full French kiss on a grown woman, Steve. This kid's 13. The balls.
Yeah, and it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, too.
About to be a king of industry. He's going to be telling people when he's a 20-some-year-old, like, dude, fucking just straight down the throat on this chick. Hava na fucking Gila.
As Elaine's explaining it to Jerry, he's like, he slipped in tongue? He's a man's man.
Hey, Jerry's a grown-ass man. He respects it.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's going places. George admits pathetically that he didn't even try that till he was 23. So this kid's got a decade on him. Elaine's actually getting a lot of invites from other bar mitzvahs, and she's the talk of the town, Steve. These young Jewish kids, they know she's hot to try.
Yeah, she had 6. We see Jerry on the phone, and he's going off on this airline. He's really like putting this to practice from the stuff Patty was telling him. And when he gets off the phone, he tells him, like, she showed me how to get mad. You got a problem with that?
You want to fight? So outside, while Jerry's on that phone, Elaine and George hear like drilling. They're like, what the fuck is that? And they don't, they leave. And they see Kramer installing that rickety-ass screen door on his apartment, which you're right. I like that, though. It's one more door the cops have to come in. Smart.
And then we cut to the garage. George talking to his dad. From now on, I'm the professor. You will refer to me as Mr. Costanza, and you will be referred to as Costanza. We see his arch nemesis coming to the garage, Lloyd Braun. He asks, like, what is Lloyd Braun doing here? Your mother wanted him here. Ever since we were kids, she always liked him more than me.
Lloyd Braun, very polite man, Steve, but he's like, he was in a freaking mental institution. And that doesn't matter to Frank Costanza. He's like, the crazier, the better. The crazy ones are the ones that sell good. To speak to that point, Lloyd sits down, makes one phone call, and he's off to the races, Steve. He's selling these things like hotcakes. Call Gateway and get him a job because he's selling these things like they're not computers in Frank Costanza's garage.
Put another check mark on him, man. And we cut to the little Littman's room. And Elaine, she's like, I accept your apology. And dude says, like, I'm not apologizing. I'm a man. The rabbi said so. Elaine's just like, Tell your friend that I'm not attending his bar mitzvah, by the way.
I like Elaine's like, what you did was inappropriate. And Adam's like, no, it wasn't. It was perfect. And I told everyone. Fucking little psycho. Again, dude, to speak on the balls on this little youngster, he is a man at this point, contextually. He even is like, look, maybe that was inappropriate, but you know what's not inappropriate? You and me going out this Friday. It's like, yeah, all right, dude. Fucking, this kid's a badass. She starts, you know, going off on him, and she's basically like, look, man, you're not a man. So Adam puts 2 and 2 together and is like, oh, well, if I'm not a man, then this is all a sham. Judaism, bar mitzvahs, I renounce my faith. He renounces his faith for this woman, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it is Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
It's the power.
Back to the garage, we're having a sales contest. Loser gets fired. Winner gets a pitcher of water.
And George is like, I'm out of here. And as he's leaving, Frank's like, you could never compete with Lloyd Braun, just to really stick it in. So that sets George off, and he starts cold calling immediately. And you think it's going to be like this fairy tale thing. Hard no. Hard no. What's that? Oh, God, son of a Serenity Now.
Hey, you want a computer? Why not? Oh, that's a good answer. Serenity Now.
Now we cut to Mr. Libman's. Elaine's going from the kid to the bull, I guess, from the young calf to the bull, and is like, look, your kid's out of control.
She says to him, you can't become a man overnight. You haven't been jaded by life yet. You have to have certain experiences, and you're young. Like, the kid leaves. He's just like, whatever. And so Mr. Littman says, oh, so those are some of the things you're looking for in a man, right? Oh, okay. All right. And then he goes in for the dive.
I mean, these Littmans, Steve, they got a healthy libido, if nothing else. There's some in those genes. Cut to the hallway again, and Jerry and his, what's Lori Laughlin's name in this? Patty?
Patty, yeah.
Yeah, they come home. Kramer's kind of turned this thing into Anywhere USA, Steve. The outside of Bubba Gum Shrimp. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. He's kind of decorated the hallway. I think there's some sand or something, but it's a nice all-American feel out there.
I mean, he made it into a porch, basically.
Inside, though, you see?
Inside, yeah. And like, he's going back and forth with some kids, I guess, that live on the floor. He tells them kids have been yelling at me all day, all afternoon.
I mean, you got this thing set up. You're asking for it. There's American flags, there's wind chimes, there's a screen door, there's a nice little seat. You're dealing with some of New York's little brats. Doesn't sound good. So that's set up. Then we go into Jerry's. You know, all this like honesty. Jerry's feeling uplifted. He's feeling emotional right now. You know, he's learned to let loose a little bit. He's now just embracing, expressing his anger, and he's doing it all the time, Steve. Patty's not thrilled.
Yeah, and it's gotten to the point where she's just fed up, and she's like, goodbye. Well, double goodbye. So Patty leaves. Elaine comes in, and she wants to know if Jerry can accompany her to La Cane La Dad.
Oh, God, but that was the restaurant that Jerry went out with Patty, and now the other emotions are coming out, Steve. Anger's not the only one. Now the whole thing's let out. It's Pandora's box.
Salty discharge? This is horrible. I care.
I'm human. So later in the hallway, Jerry, tears flowing, he's crying to Kramer, and George shows up and needs to talk. So we go back into Jerry's, and the talk was just George just trying to hack a computer, Steve. He's desperate.
Yeah, he has this whole idea where he's going to steal the computers, put them in Kramer's room, and act like they're cells. Is that how it went?
I think he's just going to mark them as sales and then somehow return them just to beat Lloyd Braun, Steve. It's that petty.
Yeah, that's why I love it.
Also, while all this is happening, Jerry's fully open. He's telling George and Kramer he loves them, in fact. It's all coming out. We see this war that Kramer's in. It's kind of coming to a head. The kids have completely fucked up Anytown, USA. There's shaving cream, I think. It's just a mess.
They throw a rock at him. And George pulls Jerry into his place. He's like, dude, it's just the chick. You always have a chick, man. You never heard of feelings? But anyway, you want to buy a computer, you can watch porn, you can stock quotes.
You could write a novel on this thing. This thing's it's a money maker. You gotta spend money to make money, guys. He's throwing a hard sales pitch here. Also, I think somewhere in this, like, Kramer has this safe word of hoochie mama that we hear about. I don't remember what that's in. I think it's in context to the war with the kids.
Yeah, because he rushes in as usual, and they've shaving creamed Kramer. They're just doing the most to do. So Kramer, he goes underneath Jerry's sink to get a hose, and he's like, "Hey George, when I yell hoochie mama, you turn the hose. All right." Hoochie mama. Come on, George. Get George.
George, he's taken aback because Jerry's like kind of getting real lovey-dovey with him. So he misses that mark. So, whatever. Shame on George, but no one likes Kramer in this room. So we cut to a taxi with George and Elaine. And now Elaine's being kind of educated. George, a Jewish person, is kind of telling her about why all these Jewish men are into her. She's got chicks appeal, Steve. She's got that chicks appeal. You know what I'm saying?
It's something I never would have knew about if I didn't watch this show.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another reason why this episode's so prolific. I didn't know what a shiksa was, but it's a non-Jewish woman, Steve. Jewish men love non-Jewish women. So then that chicks appeal, it's an aura at this point for Elaine. And that's what happened to the Lipmans. The kid got infatuated, and even the old bull got infatuated. So he also tries to sell Elaine a computer. He educated her, and he's like, also computers, they're fucking dope.
And then Elaine makes it back to the Littmans. She tells him, like, look, I appreciate the fact that you find me attractive to the point where you jump my bones, but this wouldn't work.
I'm a shiksa. That's all this is. She tries to tell the Lippman what's up.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not it. And you know what? I renounce. How easy is it to renounce Judaism, Steve? All these Jewish guys, they're just throwing it away immediately.
Yeah, I think you got to reattach the foreskin after that. Something.
Yeah, you got to go back to the moil and get the whatever he took off. So we cut back to Jerry's. Kramer's still going through this war. Now he's covered in eggs. He's been egged, the ultimate insult. But he's fully into the Serenity Now thing. He's not phased. Serenity Now. This is nothing.
Apparently it's working for him because he says it just melts the anger right off. He tries to open up a bag of chips and he's struggling. And then he just gives up. Just Serenity Now.
See? Elaine comes over and she's telling Jerry and everybody like what happened with Lippman. He had renounced his faith. But Jerry, he's moved on to a new feeling of love. And this one, he's getting creepy, but he's just like kind of staring at Elaine. I've just never noticed that before.
Sit down, Elaine. I've been thinking we're just wandering on this blue sphere and, can't help but think, like, what's it like to be complete? You're looking everywhere for some meeting, and this whole time it's right in front of you. So Jerry gets on his knee to propose, and right as he's doing that, George, that's when he pops in, and he's got the ultimate idea of stealing these computers and basically scamming his dad.
He's not even stealing them. He's going to purchase them, Steve. That's the scam. He's putting his money up, making it out like he's selling these things. And then he's just going to somehow return them and get his money back. But in that process, he's going to beat Lloyd Braun. And that's all that matters. Fuck honesty. Fuck selling.
And Jerry's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask Elaine to marry me. So he leaves. And as he does that, Elaine's got a mouthful of banana. She's just awkward at this point. Like, whoa, like, I think George is calling me. What'd you say, George?
Yeah, I gotta go. She gets out just in time before she's absorbed. So we cut to Frank's garage. Computers, numbers, it's all good. As far as Frank is concerned, he's doing fantastic. So he fires Lloyd Braun because it looks like George is completely dominating him in the sales.
Oh, hello, Mr. Vandelay. Oh, really? 24? Oh.
Excuse me, is that Don Mattingly? Don, hey, what's up? 5,000 computers? Got it.
It's
He's
a
ringing the
disconnected
bell.
number.
Yeah. But before Lloyd leaves, I mean, he handles the firing very well. He's very adjusted, Steve. He's not the psychopath we've been led to believe, but he tells
Mhm.
George this whole Serenity Now thing that I'm hearing about, it's not good. It's actually harmful. It makes you bottle up your emotions, and eventually you just blow up.
Serenity now, insanity later.
Wise words, Lloyd. So we cut back to Anytown, USA, we'll call it. And Kramer's basically PTSD'd out. He's surrounded by TP, eggs. He's kind of muttering Serenity Now to himself emptily, but he's just gone, Steve. He's shell shocked.
And Jerry shows up and he steps on his last roast. So Kramer's had enough. He goes back into his place and just Serenity Now, Serenity Now. And George shows up. He's just glad that he finally beat Braun.
Thrilled. Part of that like scam was Kramer's just going to hold on to these computers in his place.
Right.
Until I can return them. So Kramer's gone inside. We can hear him behind this closed doors yelling Serenity Now, but then we also hear him completely snap and just start demolishing, going Motley Crue on this apartment. He's destroying everything, Steve.
And then he comes back into Jerry's and he's like, hey, man, I owe you one.
Yeah, because George is like, I can't, you destroyed 25 computers, dude. You couldn't just punch a pillow? And Kramer's like, I owe you time, buddy. Once I get this whole screen door thing figured out, I'll get you that money. So George is out. What's 25 computers in the 90s, Steve? That's a lot of scratch.
Probably like shit, close to six figures in late 90s.
Yeah, he's down a lot. Dad's down a lot, but Jerry's cool. He's letting his emotions out. And it's the best thing he's ever done. He's feeling free. He's not feeling weighed down by all that, everything that he was going through his head. Sure, he's no longer funny, which is probably kind of important for a comedian, but life's too short. You got to let people know how you feel.
George calls him out on it like, hey, Jerry, please don't tell me you love me. I don't want to hear that shit again.
But he does ask George how he is. And cut to like, I don't know what you call it, or it's a rabbi's office. Elaine's gone to a rabbi now. And his name's Rabbi Glickman. I guess she wants to go to a holy man just to kind of figure out, how do you eliminate this chick's appeal? How could I stop this? He's like, you know how you stop it? You got to just release it. So let me get in on that. Even the rabbi tries to go at it, Steve. Jewish men are really sexual beasts in the show.
And I have access to a timeshare. And if you want, we can go out on the holidays. And then he looks around and she's gone.
Elaine, God, it's big ass titties. Back to Jerry's. Jerry's like, George, just confess all your emotions, man. It's going to make you feel better. George starts doing that. And then we see the aftermath of that. And whatever George told Jerry is disturbed Jerry to the point where he's speechless. This is a comedian, Steve.
I think you scared me straight. And then Elaine comes in and she revisits that conversation they had earlier. She even like echoes some of the things Jerry said verbatim. Maybe everything we need is right in front of us. Hey, Jerry, yeah. I will marry you. And Jerry says, I don't see that happening. What about the stuff that you said earlier? Oh, that Jerry doesn't exist anymore.
Not interested. Oh, shit. And then we cut to the credits, Steve, and we see George. He's kind of like suggesting that the amazing amount of sales Lloyd did would offset all the destruction that Kramer caused. This is where we find out Lloyd is a psychopath, because Frank's like, here's the thing, he didn't sell a thing. I never even plugged the phone in. He was just talking.
He just like the sound of that bell.
Lloyd Braun. he's something's gonna happen there, Steve. He basically also says, like, you know what, man, I just wanted somebody to help you compete against George. And as they're kind of talking about that, Estelle, Frank's wife, it starts going off on him about something about, I think, using the garage door, or using the garage as an office, because the garage comes up. You hear Estelle screaming. George is like, you know what, Dad, maybe you should try a new slogan, like maybe Hoochie Mama or something, just calm down. So that's how this ends. Estelle's screaming at him to get out of the way, and Frank's just like, Hoochie Mama! Hoochie Mama!
Classic episode, man.
I feel like that has to be one of the top ones because of how like the Shik's appeal and all that stuff. The Serenity Now, that's up there.
And this is the final season, man. So Seinfeld is one of those rare sitcoms where they really did end out on top. You know, I think they were still ranked number one, and couldn't help but think, man, if they could have kept going, I really think they would have kept that stride, because it was just the perfect show, man. Everybody played the role, the eccentric characters, and it just all around great sitcom.
I mean, you see like Larry David, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, how popular that is. And it's not the same show. It's just like, you know, but that same kind of humor and stuff. I agree with it. Probably would have, I don't know if it would have gone on forever, but they could have squeezed that orange for a lot more juice. That's for sure.
Definitely, man. In 1998, Holy Man premieres. An over-the-top television evangelist finds a way to turn television home shopping into a religious experience and takes America by storm. Directed by Stephen Herrick, starring Eddie Murphy, Jeff Goldblum, Kelly Preston, Robert Loggia, and John Cryer. Your guy.
The Loge.
Don't call John Cryer my guy, Steve.
Hey, man. I know you were. It's Ducky. You like it's Ducky from yeah.
This movie, Steve, we were alluding to this. It's not a good movie. Eddie going for the easy check, going for the whatever. It has all the makings of it. I'm sitting there watching it like maybe this was a good movie. I don't remember this too much. Goldblum, Eddie.
It's a shitty movie.
It's just not good. And Eddie, he's vocal. He says it's one of the worst movies he's ever made. I find it interesting that, and this is true of a lot of movies, but I read that this was actually developed for John Candy. So you know, obviously he died, so they couldn't make it, and that's why it got shelved. And Eddie eventually picked it up. But you know, it'd be interesting to see what that would have been like. But yeah, you want it to be good. It could have been good. It wasn't good, Steve.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it'd fare well even with John Candy. The premise is I don't know who could have pulled that off and made it better. I mean, maybe Jim Carrey. You could have put him in anything, and he probably would have made it work.
I do like that. Eventually, this whatever he is, Eddie's character G gets a infomercial show called the G Spot, Steve, which I just think that's good. That's good marketing. There's some funny bits in this. There's some like clever little things they do, but a lot of this stuff is just bullshit. And,
it really is. It's a lot of fluffy. And I was waiting for this to go off. I feel this way because I always looked at Dave Chappelle as the GOAT of stand-up comedians, but I think Eddie is the funniest person alive, the funniest person ever, in my opinion. And no one ever had a run quite like Eddie in the 80s, but like I hate when I have to rag on one of his movies, because despite everything he tried, this just wasn't it. It doesn't even get a passing grade from me.
I didn't finish it, so I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I didn't finish it, and I don't think I finished it when I watched it as a kid, Steve. This is something I wanted to like enjoy. I like Eddie Murphy. I always have. It's like that. What was that other movie he made with Owen Wilson? Some of these movies he was making like in the 90s and early 2000s. You know,
Pluto Nash.
Yeah, there you go. There's a couple stinkers in there, but you know, there's some stuff to love. You got some time, and you need to waste some 2 hours of your life, and it's free. Maybe turn this on.
There are a million things on Tubi that you could probably watch and enjoy. But also in that same day, 98, The Mighty premieres. Kevin suffers from a Morquio syndrome, which weakens his heart and stunts his growth. Maxwell has dyslexia and towers above his classmates. The two couldn't be more different, but when Kevin is asked to help Maxwell, they soon bond. Directed by Peter Chelsom, starring Sharon Stone, Gina Rowlands, Harry Dean Stanton, Kieran Culkin, James Gandolfini, Eldon Ratliff, and Gillian Anderson.
I like this movie, Steve. It's It's an obscure coming of age movie. I just find it tough to watch, like some of these movies where kids are bullied and stuff. Like Kieran Culkin has a disability. He hooks up with this just like gigantic, like Boo Radley type dude that just gets made fun of because he's huge and kind of like, I don't know, like timid. I don't know, man. Great team up movie. Kieran Culkin. This is him young. He kills it. the big dude, he's an actor. Like he's in that Daredevil show. He's still acting.
He was in Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, he was the enforcer dude, right?
The goon.
Yeah. Weird. It's odd, man. This guy's actually been in a lot of movies, but this is a good one. This is a feel-good movie. Got a good message about inclusivity and just like, you know, friendship and stuff. They have some cool like visuals where they're like walking around, you see knights around them and stuff, like in their fantasy. And yeah, it's not something I watch a lot. It's not one of like my main favorites, but as I rewatch this, I was like, oh yeah, man, I actually dig this movie.
This is my first time watching it, and you know, I respected Kieran Culkin, but like I found a newfound appreciation for dude because now I kind of look at him as the Solange Knowles of this situation, where your older sibling, I feel like you can't surpass that. There's no point in trying, but just like Solange knows, Kieran Culkin found a way, like his own lane. He's not trying to be the next his big brother. You can't.
Oh, absolutely
like,
not.
Give up on that. But he does art house movies like this, man, which Macaulay probably never did at this age. And Macaulay can't say he's got an Academy Award and an Emmy Award. So shout out to Kieran.
Yeah, it is one of those, like, it's impressive that I don't know if you ever get out of like the shadow of somebody like Macaulay Culkin and like how huge he got in the 90s. But yeah, dude, especially as like an older guy, he's in Succession. He's in a lot of stuff people like, and everything I've ever seen him in, I haven't hated. You know, this kid's actually doing like a really good job. And I don't know who's actually even more successful at this point other than like just notoriety, because he's been in a lot, like in terms of how many good projects he's been in. Yeah. Probably more than Macaulay, but Macaulay just, you know, you're not beating that goat, dude.
I just think Kieran played the long game better. Macaulay in the early 90s, man, like that was a big hit. That was momentary too, man, because he took a sabbatical after Richie Rich. So I am trying to think of he's like Ultimate Warrior. Like for those 4 or 5 years, oh my God. And he kind of like fell off and started doing other shit. But Kieran, he was on the slow rise to ascension, or the ascension to success. Like he's kind of like a Bret Hart. I'm gonna start off as a tag team star, then eventually I'll go solo, and then I'll be an intercontinental champion, and then I'll be the world champion.
Well, he just kind of like flew under the radar because I mean, he was even in freaking Home Alone. You know, he was the kid pissing himself. So like, he was a child star who had some success, mostly because he had a famous brother. But he weathered that storm, and I think not having so many people pay attention to you when you're a young actor allows you to sort of become a good actor and then be really good when you're like in your 20s and stuff.
Yeah, that pressure isn't as heavy. Like, and plus I hear that they had kind of a Joe Jackson like dad too, so that might have been another spark under their ass.
The Mighty Dude, it's a great movie. It's on my, like, if I had a kid, I definitely would watch it with, because it's got a great message, and it's just kind of like it's an uplifting movie. You know, it's kind of sad because you see some bullying, but ultimately, you know, they overcome that, and it's just about having like a good buddy to hang out with.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Kieran dies. But any callbacks, honorable shotbacks, throwbacks, whatever?
I just want to, you know, I said it about it before, but to think about, you hear about like these movie roles that are very famous, like for what we were talking about, you know, Rush Hour, Chris Tucker, huge movie. And then you find out Eddie Murphy was actually the person that was given that movie originally, and he was supposed to do it because of a decision he made. He didn't. It's weird to think of like those big, like very successful movies, and if they'd be better or what they'd be like with like that original intended actor in that role. It's crazy to think about. I mean, fucking Rush Hour is amazing. Chris Tucker, great. Early 90s Chris Tucker on top of the world, but it is weird to think about, like, would it have been a better movie? It's maybe a weird thing to think about, but there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I think Chris Tucker, he won in that situation.
Oh, dude, that's crazy to think about too. Like something like that, because he was famous already, but like being in that movie just shot him up to like the up. That was it. You know, all of America was paying attention at that point. So it's like one man says no, it's like that opens up your whole life. That's another crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, man.
That's it, Steve. What about you?
I'm super tired today. So anybody watching this, I'm sorry, I'm not the same Steve as used to. But the sister, they're airing an episode called Kidnapped, and play on words is that Kid from Kid and Play. He's like this big, like egotistical rapper that they're trying to kidnap and make it look like they're besties with the guy. They're like throwing a party. All the like popular girls from the school, they're showing up because they have a rival. That's what it is, man. They have a rival girl who's like really popular, and she's dating Kobe Bryant, who shows up in the opening segment of this episode. So they see Kobe, and all the girls are like, oh my God, this is your man. So like, no, we got to do one better. You know, whatever his name is in the episode, like they find out he's coming in town. They pick him up at the airport. They're like, no, we're going to go to my house. Now, 12-year-old me would have loved that. These two high yellow chicks here, you going to take me to your place? All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Where are we going? I love that, though. You got Kobe. I'm going to get Kid.
Respectfully, the Kid, I don't know if that's a proper payoff, but you know, I digress. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister Wayne's World party time, excellent. Ho 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 304. Check out Food Show Fanatics when do y'all air that? When do y'all do this?
It's usually Thursday, but we were going to do a cover Halloween baking championship, and this season blows, so we're taking a hiatus until we figure out what to do next. So, but you can check out all of our old stuff. Food Show Fanatics. It's all over the place.
Check out the catalog. Check out Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on podcast, on Wrestling with Ronzilla on podcast on TikTok. This is Steve G and Mad G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Steve's sleepy.
God
he needs a nap.